Fucking still sweating over here.
Right. Yeah, he's and we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast and the Lords of Gaming.net, episode number 109. And it's another glorious Sunday. We're back at the round table on the Lord's Day. I'm very excited about our special guests, and we've got PS5 Secret Sauce, Epic Store acquisitions, games as a service, Valve VR, and Borderlands 3 revealed to discuss. So we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a Lord whose knowledge and passion for consoles truly resonates as a seasoned member of our gaming community. This Lord consistently promotes a platform of professionalism and always has fun while continuing to represent the good in gaming. Introducing the host of the Bitcast podcast and founder of SeasonedGaming.com, the Lord of Porsche Power and representative of all games, all platforms, no ads, no BS. Live from Kansas City and making his debut into the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord Ainsley Bowden. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing real well, man. How you guys doing? I don't think anyone's gonna top that intro. I'm gonna have to cut that out. I appreciate that.
Absolute pleasure to have you, man. Thank you for
my pleasure.
You have a lot of things going on today.
Yeah, I want to apologize right off the bat, guys. It's on me. LordCognito and I have been talking about this for weeks, and I had this tournament come up I couldn't get out of. It's a big thing here, and they accommodated my schedule, and I just want to thank you guys profusely. So sorry to hold it up.
No worries, man. Thanks for still making it, man.
Yeah, you can come late anytime you like. You bringing 2 statues. We all know.
I got other ones for you too. We'll have to
king of statues in the building.
I'm loving this right here.
Yeah, man. What have you been playing, sir? Man, what games have you been playing?
Oh man, well I finished up Sekiro. Finished that, and I play the hell out of Division 2. I'm a big looter shooter guy.
Nice.
So I'm already kind of maxed. You know, I'm like gear score 510, or I'm kind of maxed out there. And then right now, I've been all about Mortal Kombat. I'm a big Mortal Kombat guy.
Likewise. It's a fantastic version, man.
Excellent.
Man. It is crazy. I've
got a Raiden and a Sub-Zero statue too. I almost brought those today, but I don't know. I like these ones.
Oh man, y'all gonna have to do it like a joint show. You and Kay.
Listen. I have no problem, and I said the evolution of this the channel for King of Statues is me going to other people's residents and checking out their collection, and that's what I'm talking about. That's the evolution of the channel.
No doubt, salute Lord Death Singer. Thank you, brother. $10 super chat. Salute to the Lord. Salute to Lord Phil Dominus. This will be a fantastic show as always. Stellar, amazing grand strategy game Stellaris that is grand in every multiplayer. Due out 15th of May. Yo, you plugging for Stellaris?
Yeah.
Are you a rep for Stellaris? What's going on here, man? Thank you, brother. Thank you for the super chat. We got a lot of show.
Thank you. But what did you pay us in pesos? What was that? What was that money currency exchange rate?
Oh, Lord Stinger. He says Ainsley in the realm taking his statue game straight to king. Oh,
it is. I'm talking about that, baby. I love that.
Lord Stinger of the original game, Next Level Gaming. Had a great Sega show with him, man. Please check that out. Oh, Sega memories were fantastic.
Sega boy for life.
Likewise, man. That's my guy right there. So let's get into it. And of course, we have a Lord that is not only gaming brethren, but a true friend to the entire realm of the ILP. Although not frequently seen enough, this Lord's high-quality videos and smooth radio-friendly delivery completely evoke real passion from hardcore gamers everywhere. Introducing the panelists of the RDX podcast and the co-host of the Fight Culture podcast, Captain Neutral himself, and the only Lord who voted Steve Buscemi as the face of the live-action Sonic movie. Live from the Bay, making his return to the realm of the Lords, my man, Lord J. Fonzerelli. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing great, and you have the best introductions ever.
Yep.
Ever. So I'm humbled. Anyways, I'm glad to be here.
No doubt, man. Good to have you back, man. Thanks for holding us down. True friend to the realm. Hit my man follow. He said, Cog, I got you. What you been playing, sir?
I've been playing that. I've been frauding, okay, because I was talking negatively on this game for a while, seeing the previews, not feeling it. Giving my honest opinion on it, saying, it doesn't look like it's for me. I tried it, and I actually really like it a lot, despite all of its flaws, because there's a lot of it. Days Gone.
Yes, man. I love your videos. Fantastic. Yo, shout out to Lord Madz in the building. He says, my co-host, the Fight Culture. So what's going on, real quick? Give us a quick scenario. I don't want to blow up your show because I know when's the show gonna go down. So you're gonna break it down with you and Madz. What time is the show?
Right after this show, or at 1. We're gonna do it at 1 p.m. West Coast time. So I may dip out a little early. Go do my show. We're gonna talk about mixed martial arts, what happened last night, all the news of the week, and
can't wait, man. A fantastic card that I missed. So I'm definitely going to be tuning in, not live, but obviously I'm still going to catch him. And shout out to Lord Madz. Absolute pleasure. So, Fight Culture Podcast, y'all. For your MMA guys, please check these guys out, man. Fantastic show. So here we go. And of course, we got the original 4 horsemen. Well, actually 3 horsemen. We're down a horseman. Salute Lord Sarv, taking care of family business. Hopefully we will get him back soon, brother. We miss you. And definitely always a pleasure to have you in the realm. But we still have my co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the how of the junk. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. I like this 2 o'clock thing.
Crazy. That mic is crazy.
Well, what's it doing?
It's wigging out, baby. Oh,
I mean, you got to tell me what it's doing.
It's like show.
I don't hear it. I don't know if you guys hear it, but maybe it's.
Maybe it was the game that he was playing.
Maybe it's the game. I think he's playing. You know, Addict don't listen to the podcast. He does. He's just
Look, man, my mind needs to be pushed in like 5 different directions to be able to focus. Okay, just
they got medication for that.
I don't take medication, but it's been a good week. Been playing this game, Fell Cell. It's for people that don't.
Studio, sir. Let's plug them, sir.
Yeah.
It is by 6 Eye Studio.
Nice, man. Met those guys not this year's PAX. Was it last year's PAX?
You met them both of them. Yeah. Sovereign went and talked to them.
Small studio under 1C Entertainment, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a spiritual successor of Final Fantasy Tactics. I will say that they have a lot of different aspects that are in like Tactics. Like they even have certain classes have the exact same abilities that Tactics has, but it's one of those things that they did take some things from the games that they were, because he was very open with it. He's like it definitely might have looked at might have played the Tactics here or there. But it's definitely a good game. I enjoy it. The story feels like it's about to come to a conclusion, and then something else happens. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, so I guess there's another 10 hours of gameplay. Gotcha. It's definitely a good game.
That's what's up, man. So it's been all fail seal all day. You're finally off the Sekiro.
Right? Yeah, I'm done with that game.
Did you uninstall it, sir? Did you throw it into the bushes, sir?
But I beat it. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to get that uninstalling so I can actually put it to rest just like you.
Oh my God. And of course we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports. King of the statues. I don't know about today though.
Bro,
he's still the king. He's still the king. Don't say
he out here, man. He out here.
Who demands nothing less than that premium experience. It is the leader of the Fraud Alert movement.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. I like to give a shout out to Canelo for doing the thing, and I like to give a shout out to Danny Jacobs because you played yourself. Listen, man. Last night, brother, when opportunity knocks, when you have the ability to seize your own future, and you don't kick that door down and slam it to the floor and throw it into the bushes, when you don't grab the bull by the horns and push forward, you, my friend, are a loser. That play it safe, that hold my coin, I told you to listen to your trainer. See, Gennady Golovkin got rid of his trainer for financial reasons, right? And I think that's a sucker move. All right, this is real man talk here. You go to the gym
And talk early on it. So okay.
Yes, you go to the dance with people that got you there. You know, good in the good day. I mean, the bad days. So it's going to be good in the great days, right? So he signs a big check and he ditches his coach over financial reasons.
Gotcha.
Now, what you don't do is you don't ditch your coach. You don't ditch the guy that got you to the dance when nobody wanted to dance with your ugly behind. Right? What you do is you add on, you add pieces. This is Lego blocks, right? You want to increase your stack of bread that's coming in. You don't want to decrease it, right? So now you're looked at as the bad dude. That's Gennady Golovkin. Yesterday, Danny Jacobs went into a different direction. I told you on Combat Talk, if he decided to jab and play it safe and look for his opportunities, it was never going to show up. Canelo has turned into the Floyd, the Mexican Floyd Mayweather.
I did catch some of it in his head movement, brother. It was one round I seen him dip, dive, then do the slip. I was like, yo, I didn't know Canelo had that kind of defense.
He stayed in pocket. You saw it, right? You saw him stay literally in front of Jacobs and slip, dip, slide, moved his head over, and was still cognizant enough to throw an overhand right hand that landed, and he stepped out of it and pivoted and rolled.
And his Jacobs was the bigger man, correct?
Yes, he's the bigger, longer, more athletic guy in the fight. And I felt that he didn't impress his advantages. I also thought his corner was giving him bad information. When your fighter looks you lost in his eyes, and he tells you, what's the score? That, you know, when they asked that part, I understand what's going on in the pit inside his stomach. He asked him, "What's the score?" And he said, "It's close." You know, you don't need to put your foot on the gas. That guy needs to be fired. That guy needs to be replaced as your head. Because right now you're in a fight of your life. Everybody was sitting there saying, "What is he waiting for?" Every time he landed a good punch, he shook his head, like looked at Canelo, like, "See, I can do that too." Then you really didn't believe that you can actually win.
Yeah, that's a shout out to Canelo, and I guess no props for our man Jacobs right now.
Cinco de Mayo is on and is lit, and Canelo's having a great time.
Playing, sir.
I did this week. I played myself. I had a choice. My Microsoft money came in. Shout out to Microsoft.
Salute.
You know, so my Microsoft money came in. So I went down to GameStop the good old way. And I said, let me further put you guys in the bushes by buying Microsoft credit money. Yeah, here's this. And now I'm not buying nothing out of your store. And I'm going to take
you went and got digital?
Yes, digital currency for you. And I'm going back home and I'm going to spread my money where I want to spread it.
No doubt. I respect that. So that's pretty much what it's been for you this weekend.
No, this is what I purchased with my money. All right. I could have brought Mortal Kombat. I could have even got a PlayStation digital money and got Days Gone. Two games that I really wanted to buy. I purchased World War Z.
Interesting. Okay. Right.
Thank you, dealer. Thank you. I'm gonna say thank you, dealer, for putting me in this corner with this game. All right. This game so far, I played a little bit, and
no.
I gotta say,
No.
You know when you purchase a game and you got that face.
I thought it's like a spiritual successor to like a Left 4 Dead, like you know what I'm saying. That's what I heard.
It's like Left 4 Dead on B mode, the B real. Like,
so what's wrong with it? What don't you like about it?
Guns, like it don't. And the zombies, you shoot them in the toe, they be like, "Oh God." I understand they sending you 1,000 of them, and you don't want to get a precise headshot. I feel that whole part, right? But they do put the most polygons I've ever seen in my life on your screen without it chugging and turning into a mess. I don't know how they doing it, but the lighting effects look good. Everything looks good. It's just the guns don't feel.
Novad Severe said you got the Operation Raccoon City face. Oh, shout out to Jemiah. Yo, Addict. Shout out to Jemiah Dixon. He just bought Fail Sale off your recommendation.
Oh,
look, that's what's up, brother. That's what's up. Yeah, great game. If you're a Final Fantasy Tactics guy, that is your thing. I've never seen Addict, so if Addict's giving it the seal of approval, trust me, is a good game.
You know, I gotta say, David, you bought the wrong one. You should have got Days Gone.
London. Damn.
Yeah, I felt like that. That's the same thing I said in my head. You know when your own fraud alert go on and you already spend your money and you can't get out of it, you like
You already locked in.
I said I spend my Microsoft bucks. I'm so mad.
That's been it for the king. So of course we have the Lord of the Cooperative Experience and Gaming Ninja himself, the Shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the IOP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. For me, it's just been Mortal Kombat. I actually got back on Destiny 2 a little bit, Division a little bit, just like little bits and pieces here. And yeah, man, right now Borderlands. I finally King. Remember when we went to PAX? I finally started to do that download. So I did. I got a question for you, Borderline hardcore guys. Like, I don't know which one to start. Should I start the pre-sequel in 4K with the HDR and all that on the X, or should I start the other, like part 1 enhanced? So Borderlands fans, put that in the chat for me. Let me know what should I introduce myself to the series. I played 2 before, but I only played a little bit of it. But I want to start.
We gotta do it together. Let's play together. Just like link me and we'll play it together because I find it a snooze fest.
Oh my Lord, so this guy, you're out of control. All right, Novad says I should play the pre-sequel. All right, so I might start with the pre-sequel then. What's going on? So all right, that's all we got. So now that we got into what the Lords are playing, I want to start with Lord Bowden, his video game system history, and what led him to create the bitcast and his journey as a journalist and founder of seasongaming.com. So Lord Bowden, let's start from the very beginning. What were some of the first video game systems you had, and what got you into gaming?
Wow. Yeah,
this
could take a while.
Get it.
Yeah, so kid born 78, right? So started real early, Atari 2600. When I was 4, started playing, and by the time I was about 5, 6, I was already beating my older brother and sister in those games. So I grew up with Atari, and then you know, you get to about 6, 7 years old, and I remember walking into a Woolworth. I'm gonna give that a shout out.
Wow.
I walked into a Woolworth with my mom and saw the NES for the first time, you know, set up. And that kind of blew me away, and couldn't afford it at the time. But I went over to a buddy's house. A couple of months later, he had it, and we played Mario. And when you play when you're our age and you play Mario Brothers for the first time, it was a revolutionary experience. Absolutely. So started there, and ever since then, nothing but games, man. It's always been a passion of mine. I've owned, I won't say every console because there's hundreds, right? But I mean, damn near every console you could name, I've owned. I've been part of a Neo Geo collectors group.
Oh, you and King are like,
I tell you, I'm fanboying out when he got there. When I see a Prime 1 on the deck, that's a Prime 1, and I'm down with him.
Any of fellow King is? Oh, these two, it's over.
Yeah, man. So you know, 16-bit era is my jam. I love Super Nintendo and Genesis. I was a Sega kid, man. I had a Master System, and
now you got it. Yeah. give me like 2 Master System games though. 2 like of your favorites, if you can. If you can remember.
Yeah, sure. So I actually like the original Rambo, which is a weird call out.
Yep.
Great game. The original Ghostbusters on there was real different. That was a good game. Outrun's a classic. And then I'm a diehard RPG guy, so Phantasy Star. I actually have.
Oh, my man. That's what's so the original one.
The original Phantasy Star.
With a list. And you had, oh man, I still remember the music in the cave.
Oh man, dude, I've got a Cook and Becker like fine art print of the Phantasy Star 1. I'll have to send you a picture. It's beautiful. And I still have my original copy from when I was 10 years old sitting on a shelf.
Wow. This guy's official.
And then, so anyway, go ahead.
No, I was going to say continue your progress.
So then, you know, 90s teenager started, you know, girls, cars, what have you, right? So a little less time for games, but PS1 came out. I was at Dreamcast at launch. I can still remember going into KB Toys, buying Dreamcast at launch.
Toys, let's go.
And then in my early 20s, I got into the Neo Geo group. I was back on the East Coast right outside of Philly. That's where I lived growing up, and I got into a Neo Geo group in Maryland, and built a custom Neo Geo MVS cabinet that you could hook up to TVs with joysticks, and I collected those, and I started buying and trading games, you know, on eBay when eBay was first coming up.
Yes.
And then after that, man, then you had the original Xbox in 2001 and GameCube and Xbox and Halo. Halo's my favorite franchise, so
Nice.
that was revolutionary, man. When I played,
is that an ODS T-shirt, sir? Is that?
Oh, of course, man. Of course.
Repping hard today.
I always rep Halo in one way or another. It's everywhere, man. I have Halo everything.
Yo, this is a fit. He's certified out here, King. You hear this talk?
I told you when he jumped on, I said, "Oh, and you got the ODST." Listen, I already peeped game long time ago. Once they had the 2 statues on the side. Now, first of all, that Prime 1 statue is very legit. The PO went out of production. I think it was like in a couple of hours.
Oh, it was quick. You got to be quick on the draw with these things, man.
Yeah.
Yo, real quick, Lord Ainsley, Lord De Niro Primero said for Master System, but how far did you get in My Hero? Remember the Sega card?
Oh, My Hero, yeah, the card. No, wow, that's a deep cut.
Yep.
That's a deep cut.
That game was endless loop of pain. I remember.
It was hard as hell, man. They don't make games like that anymore. Thank God.
That game was hard. Yeah, man. So that's all right. Continue.
Yeah, so I did own that game at one point.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. That's
yeah. So anyway, that Xbox, Halo, and then I was an Xbox Live beta tester. I still have my shirt and my kit from the beta testing at Xbox Live in 2002. So if you look at my profile, like, you know, it's the highest number you can get, you know, for years on live.
You were the same. I think what is it? I think it's about either 15 or 16.
16, yeah. I actually wrote a long article on 15th anniversary last year, highlighting the history of all of Xbox Live from the beginning to now.
That's
So anyway, and then, you know, the last couple of years go for themselves, right? Ever since PS2 and Xbox, and then up through 360 was amazing. And then I've become a real big collector over the past probably 8 to 10 years. So I mean, literally, this entire basement is just a game. It's my game room.
You got the King. It's over.
It's endless. Yeah.
King's about to lead the ILP. I'm about to do your own podcast. It's over. So, Lord Bowden, tremendous history, man. Wow. What a history. So I want to break it down now to the creation of the bitcast. Like,
shout
out to the team, Lord Burt signs, I believe, with Dan Rodriguez, I believe.
Yeah. Good call.
And I want to get, and also I want you to talk about that creation, how that started, and then also that little funny thing you guys do with backseat gaming. I think it's kind of hilarious. So break down the bitcast. How did that start?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, I found myself talking about games every day, as most of us do, right? And I was chatting on some social media with games every single day, and I'm like, everyone just kept saying, you know so much about games, you have such a history with them, and you talk every day about them. Why don't you put that to use? So I just started a blog back in 2016, just myself writing some shit out, you know. And then I was like, you know what? Why don't I put a little effort into this? And I turned it into the site. So I created and code the site myself. I run it. And then Bert is an old friend of mine. We've been friends for a long time. He's down in Austin.
Nice.
And I was like, hey, would you want to, contribute to some of this? And so he started getting involved, and we created the channel. And then we just started playing around with podcasting. And some of our, as we've probably all experienced, some of our early podcasts are hilariously bad.
Me and Addict know about that.
We have a couple bitcasts that are not published.
Me and Addict know about that. Our debut is another #1 debut.
Yeah, so we just started playing around with it, and then I met Dan through Twitter, actually. A bunch of us on Twitter chatting, and found out he lives like 15 minutes from me.
Dope.
So we started talking one day, became friends, and then I invited him on, and he's become a regular. So the goal for Season Gamer was really, I think you probably noticed, I don't try to get involved in any of the shenanigans and nonsense and BS, man. I just love talking about games and the history of them. And so that's where the Season Gaming came from. And just, wanted to put something out there. I know there's a million podcasts, and there's so many good ones, so it's not even really about creating anything crazy. We just love talking about games. That's all where it came from.
Love the purity of it, sir. Fantastic.
Thank you.
And the backseat gaming thing is pretty funny too. I did catch a little bit of that. I think
that was our take on like a let's play. So Dan actually comes over here. We record in my basement here, and then Bert's down in Austin, and we just take turns playing a game with the other two, just giving them shit basically while playing. So it's fun. It's fun.
No doubt. All right, so that's what's up. Great history there. Now I want to briefly touch also on this masterpiece of yours, and I call it that amazing article, "The Good in Gaming." and I got a chance to check that out. And I want to say, start off that it really resonated with me as a person who definitely just coping through a loss of a close friend. As you can see, shout out my boy Lord Whiskey. And I know you've been through a huge, deal with your son. But just to touch briefly, I also want to touch about the positive aspects of it, and give me some inspirations about like how gaming affected you, and what inspired you to make that article.
So for those who are unaware, and I'm not trying to turn the bitcast a little sour here, but last year my 17-year-old son was killed. It was the day after E3, so I flew home from E3, and I was obviously hyped. It was my first E3, and got home. He went out that following night and didn't come back.
Rest in peace.
Thank you. So anyway, thank you. So you go through a serious reflection, right? Me and my wife, and things kind of happened. So kind of was out of the loop for a couple months, and then I started when I slowly started playing games again, it became a bigger relief. It's always an escape, but it became something new that it hadn't felt like before. And then I started thinking back to the days of playing in the arcades and Mortal Kombat, the original and 2, and Street Fighter, and how you kind of built that camaraderie with the people, the regulars that you would see every day. I'd walk to the mall, man, with my quarters, and put your quarter up and you play tournaments. I played Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat tournaments, and just that group of guys. And the thing I love about gaming is when you look at that scene today, it's more like Evo, right? So if you look at that competition scene, the thing I love about it more than anything else is that you can look across that crowd and the player base, and it doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter what you look like, where you come from, what your background is. None of that matters, man. It's all about the gaming and your talent level. And I love that. I think that gaming has brought people together of different cultures and backgrounds and races and sexes for decades. And I don't think it's gotten enough credit for doing that. And only the people like us who are in it see it that way, right?
Exactly.
So, I went out there and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of hearing all the bad things about gaming. This is bullcrap. There's a lot of good things that gaming does. And so I started doing my research, and most of the articles I write take me a while to write because I do a lot of research before I put the words down. And I'm very picky about how I write. I do revisions like tens of times. And so it took some time, but, I researched charities, and I researched companies like Extra Life and Gamers Outreach, and, scientific studies of people who use gaming for escapism. And depression and overcoming anxiety.
Oh, bro, it's so big in our community, not to cut you. And that's why it really resonated with me, because again, I just lost my friend, and it's like you said, like the mental health issues, the depression that's in our community, and there is escapism. There's so many positive aspects of gaming that help us deal in our normal lives. It helps you get away. So it really resonated. I thought that was an excellent point.
Yeah, thank you.
No
I think most of us agree, right? And I just wanted to put it out there, and I shared it, and it got shared kind of all over, which was excellent. I wrote that, when did I write that? I don't know. It's been 4, 5, 6 months now when I put it out there, and I still get feedback today. People will DM me or email me or, what have you, and reach out and just say, man, this really touched me. This really touched me.
I'm just going to share it out to the chat right now. For those who don't know about it, it is a fantastic article. It's in the chat, y'all. The Good in Gaming. Please check that out, man. Fantastic,
thank you,
brother. Oh, man, such a positive thing. And these are the things that we like to celebrate. And like I said, I really appreciate your openness and your honesty with that. That was amazing. The research you did was tremendous.
It took a while. But it was something I wanted to do, and I wanted to make the point clear. I didn't want someone to read it and come back and say, yeah, but gaming's been accused of this. No, we're going to make this clear. That does good things. There's no debate to be had here.
Exactly. You already know. And of course, last point I want to make, recently the Lord of Esquire magazine.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. Here we go.
We're going to talk about LordCognito does his research. So,
oh, God.
Yeah, you have come to find out that they voted you the third most famous Ainsley. However, we going to vote you the number 1 Ainsley in gaming. Right? We ain't going to do no number 3. So talk about that article and being recognized by Esquire. Talk about it.
It's crazy. You know what's funny about that is I posted about we joked about it, and someone else reached out to me and was like, "Hey, Ainsley, it's not just Esquire. Your name's all over the place." And they sent me like 4 more links to UK publications with quoting me. So yeah, me and my buddies, Undead there and De Niro, I'm on their shared show on Third Wheel Arcade too.
Okay.
And
the homies, Undead and De Niro, yes.
Yeah. We take turns. We chat every day, and it's become almost a running joke at this point. Because what happened, right, is like
he said the panhandler took second.
Oh man. So anyway, yeah, I put this quote out there because I'm just involved in this daily, right? So I've got my ear to the ground. I know a lot of people that talk about technical specs, and in my career, my professional life is very technical orientated too, application development, and so I'm
that's what's up.
So I mean, I'm involved in I'm interested in the cloud architecture and artificial intelligence and bots and all this stuff, right? So I'm just always kind of reading this tech stuff, and so I've kind of got my ear to the ground when the new consoles are being developed because that's what it's all about. It's technology. And so anyway, I was just making the statement, PS5 sounds great. I'm excited about it. And, from what I've heard from the people I talked to and the things I've seen, and kind of, the higher level next Xbox is going to be even stronger.
Yes.
And hell, man, it went everywhere. I don't like the word viral, but Jesus.
Yeah, you took off. I want you to save that thought because I want to revisit that.
Okay. When we get to the secret sauce.
We'll get some sauce talk. We're gonna get to save that, but I definitely respect it. I saw the article. I thought it was really cool, man, that you got some recognition in that respect.
Crazy.
So I gotta ask you what we ask all the guests here at the round table. Lord Bowden, I need those top 5 video games or franchises of all time. Your personal choice. Now, I'm assuming one is what the shirt you got on.
Yeah, I can name all 5 right out of the gate.
Oh, let's talk. Ready. He's ready.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, are we talking favorite or what I think is kind of favorite / best?
Let's go with your personal favorite. Whatever it is, even if it affected you the most.
Yeah, it got to be Halo CE for sure. It's got to be. Game was revolutionary, right? I think a bunch of us can call out the GoldenEye in the N64 days.
Yes.
And that was about when my friends were in college and I wasn't. but I would hang out with them all the time and we would play 4-player split screen GoldenEye drunk every night, you know what I mean?
Woo!
And when Halo came out and it took everything to the next level, right? And so from there, that changed my course because I started playing Halo tournaments and being involved in Xbox community, and I played Halo 2 tournaments and Xbox Live. And so, yeah, I think Halo's got to be my personal top one.
Nice. All right, so we got Halo.
Then Witcher 3.
Ooh.
That's why Geralt's here sitting with me. I think Witcher 3 is probably, this is just my opinion, but I think it's probably the greatest game ever made.
Yeah,
it's just done things that are just unmatched. It does so much that's unmatched.
That's what's up. So we got Halo, we got Witcher. All right, give me 3 more.
Got BioShock.
Woo! He's ready.
You know why he's ready? Listen. First of all, he's a ringer. All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. He came in fresh off the hockey game, right? He slid up and listen. He already had the setup already. All right, so he said he knew he was gonna be late, right? So he said, okay, let me have my setup already. So he's not fixing things as he got in.
Fact.
2, he already knew what shirt he was gonna put on. All right, because he was representing ODST, right? 3, he had both statues there. Now, I'm telling you guys what you don't really understand is I'm pretty sure he has more statues there, but he very specifically knew that he was going to put each of those statues there. So when he was giving his top 5, I knew for a fact that 1 was going to be Witcher and 2 was going to be BioShock because he strategically placed them there. Now, remember he told you in his articles he has to do it 3 or 4 times? Yes. Right. So that means he's a strategist. And his planning is definitely at the utmost. Yeah, continue, sir.
He's ready, bro. Lord Bowden. Halo, we got Witcher and BioShock.
Yeah.
Now 2 more to round it off.
Yeah, Last of Us for sure.
Oh wow, this is hard. This is a strong list.
Last of Us, the gameplay gets some crap sometimes, but you're not topping that narrative in that story.
All right, and I'm okay. I'm gonna stop you there. I'm gonna stop you there. I want you guys to look over his left shoulder. All right, you will see The Last of Us right there. If you keep continuing to listen to him, he's leading you down the rabbit hole.
We got Halo 2 up there.
You're gonna love this. You're gonna love the finale.
Okay, let's get it. Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm all invested.
Number 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, signed by Roger Clark.
Yes! My man.
Ron has made a new friend.
Hey, you know what?
Yo, listen, Red Dead Redemption, right there.
Hey, so this man was sitting here talking about he was born in 78. Well, I was born in 75. I'm a little older.
Nice.
But we OG. He's going through all these consoles. Yeah, I had that. The only one I didn't have was that Neo Geo. I go, this guy is emulating my life, or he's just looking in the mirror right now. And then he comes out with this top 5 list. I'm like, he's got The Last of Us, Halo Combat Evolved, and Red Dead 2 on there. 3 of my 5. So yes, this man, he's got it. He's got it.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I met Roger Clark 3 weeks ago. And chatted with him, got him to sign that Steelbook, and I got a signed picture over there hung up too. But he's a real nice guy, man. I think Arthur Morgan is one of the greatest protagonists in gaming history.
The best.
Yep.
And you know what? As soon as I beat that game, I sent a DM to Roger Clark, and he responded. He was very nice. We had a little chat, and it was great.
Oh wow,
awesome.
I wish Solve was here for this, man.
I got a question.
Okay.
Because listen, I gotta derail him. All right, I gotta derail him because right now he's playing a simulation and he's on the rails and he's just pop playing out. Right, all right. So I gotta derail you. I gotta take you down a lane that you probably was ready for. But what was your first statue? Why did you collect it? And what is your latest PO?
Great question. So I got a buddy who's more like you. He has tens and tens and tens of comic statues. Huge collector. And so I saw some of his in real life. And once you first see him in real life, you understand, right? Like they are something different. Like people are like, oh, I like action figures. Like, that's fine. Don't talk to me.
That's cute.
Don't talk to me about action figures. Because once you start collecting, like, these are just something else, man.
Yep.
And so the first one I got was off of him. He got me into it. And I have a Punisher maquette, a 1:6 original Punisher, the original Frank.
You talking about the white one with that white chest and the boots? The maquette.
The maquette is no, I know the one you're talking about. No, this one, he's standing there. He's got the gun up. He's got the shells all around his feet.
All right, yeah, I know.
It's on a shelf. I should have brought it out, but that's the first one I ever got. He sold it to me. It was worth about $800 to $1,000. He sold it to me for $400, and just to get me into it. And funny enough, the second one I bought was the very well-known Hellboy. From, I forget the guy's name now. The artist's name, Mike something, I think.
Right.
But anyway, beautiful statue. I still have them both, actually. Those are the only 2 comic ones I have. Everything else are gaming statues, and the latest one I got is this BioShock 1. But I have Triss from Witcher 3 on the way.
That was my question. Do you find yourself like, okay, I go down the line like the Holy Trinity. I put up the Holy Trinity, and I got the early Holy Trinity, and I got the second Holy Trinity going up. If you guys don't understand what I'm talking about when I say Holy Trinity, I'm talking about DC's Holy Trinity, which is Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. All right. And there's a reason why that is there, and I will go into that later on. But this is not King of the Statues. This is
version with Lord Bowden. He's gonna have
a slightly interrogation here. Do you find yourself looking for the next in that line? Because I know there's 2. It's her, Trisha's next, and there's another secret piece that Prime 1 didn't put up yet. Do you find yourself looking for that, and do you plan out your space?
Absolutely. So I've got Triss and Ciri on the way, pre-ordered, both exclusives. Triss is my girl. So you can get Yennefer as well for those Witcher fans out there, but I kind of skipped on that one. But I have a whole Witcher 3 section of my gaming room over there with Geralt. I have all the Dark Horse figures. I have Prince all over there, but I've got Triss and Ciri on the way. And yeah, you have to plan it, because we were talking before we went live, right? These things aren't light. You have to plan where they're going to be, and I have special shelves kind of around and whatnot. So I got Chief over there and some other ones around, but yeah, I'm already thinking, man, where's Trish going? So I'm gonna make sure. I'm like, Trish has to be next to Geralt, right? So I gotta make sure, and we'll figure that out.
Dude, this is
thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Everybody's loving Lord Bowden right now, man. We got a lot of show we gonna get into, but tremendous 5, man. Oh wow, that was insane. So last week's poll results are in, and the people have spoken to the question: with all the recent leaks, rumors, and speculation regarding the 2019 Microsoft press conference, which rumor do you think is most likely to come to pass? The winner at 36% in a razor close 4-way ILP vote is the Xbox will have another studio acquisition group. Coming in at second at 33% was the Xbox Scarlet Hardware Announce Group. In a razor close third at 19% was the new Splinter Cell game announcement group. And in last place at only 12% was Xbox is in the bushes if there's no new IP shown. All the Lords, over 200 that have participated. First of all, I see. Do we have Lord Madz in the building? Is that Lord?
Yes, we do.
Is that our guy, the Lord of Tech? Are you in the building, sir?
That's me. Hello, everyone.
What's going on, man? Glad that you can make it, man. Oh, man, tremendous surprise to have you in the realm. So we had the poll. The Lords have voted, Lord Madz, that they think that Xbox is going to have a studio acquisition. What do you think? Is that the more guaranteed thing? What do you think?
Well, I mean, from the rumors and stuff, I'm sure they will have at least one, right? And we all know it's no secret that Microsoft is looking for more. So I guess it's not really a question of if they're going to have any studio acquisitions, but really how many. But that's just my opinion on that, right?
Fair enough. So that's what we got. Thanks to all the Lords who voted and participated. Lord Fonz, do you agree? Let me get your feedback.
Yeah, they're going to pick up Tiger Electronics. I've already said that. Great. Those handhelds were fire. Nah. I really do think, though, if they don't have new IPs, they're in the bushes.
Yeah, I feel you, man. They need to get some new IPs going. So shout out to all the Lords who voted. We will have a new one cooking up. We're going to get into these topics, y'all. We got a like to discuss. So like I said, we had to bring in the Lord of Tech and a fan favorite, Lord Madz. And we're going to talk about the sauce, y'all. We're going to talk about secret sauce. So
Christopher Hart. Let's get it.
Christopher Hart's man. Shout out to Christopher Hart in the chat. Yo, Merc 305, what's going on, man? Good to see some faces in here. Absolutely salute. So we're gonna talk about the source. So it all started obviously with CNBC, I believe AMD CEO Lisa Su. She discussed the partnership with Sony, teasing them about the tech sphere, about what they're doing. And she made a statement that got the tech sphere all riled up. She said, "We are honored and proud to be part of Sony's next generation PlayStation. This has been a really long-term partnership with them. We love gaming. We think gaming is a really good secular growth market." And then basically she talked about, she said, what we have done with Sony architecture is really something special. And for their application, the special sauce. And she says, "It's a great honor for us. We're really excited about what the next generation PlayStation will do." So I want to break this topic into two parts. And the first part, I want to talk about the tech, about what we know so far, the latest rumors in the hardware. And then part two, we will break down the X factor and what can Scarlett do to compete. So part one, the sauce. Lord Madz, let's start with you, sir. What is going on? What are you hearing? You know what I'm saying? And then also I want to talk about your theory with the embedded SSD that you got going. That beautiful article on lordsofgaming.net. Plug.
Yeah.
Continue, sir.
Yeah. Okay, well, first of all, nobody really knows what this secret sauce is all about, to be honest with you, because it just you do. Great.
You're ready to go in.
You should have gone first then.
No. We want y'all all to go first so I can bring up the rear like Barry Bonds.
No, I mean, listen, there's no such thing as secret sauce per se, right? There's nothing that, for example, Sony could come up with that would really surprise anyone. I mean, we're talking about technology that is pretty much sort of available already, right? So I think the whole secret sauce is really more about this specification of these chips and all these customizations that obviously we keep hearing about. Is these customization has more to do with, for example, improved latency, with for example, size of the cache, because we know that that whether that's GPU, CPU, the more cache you've got, the better performance normally you get, right? Things like memory bandwidth, and also all kinds of like new features, because like if you look at Vega, for example, when PlayStation 4 Pro launched, it came with these W's of 16-bit float, right? Which helps a little bit in terms of performance. So I guess we could call it a PlayStation 4 Pro secret sauce as well, right? So I think this is what we actually really talking about, speaking about the secret sauce. And also, I don't really want to make this too long, but last one thing about this secret sauce and the actual Navi, because this is actually a known fact that when AMD was working still on Vega, right? After they released Polaris, so Vega was always intended as a server and more professional kind of card, right? So it's a very compute heavy, so it's very good in calculations, that kind of stuff. But it's not necessarily so good in other tasks, like more related to gaming, like geometry. And for example, one of the biggest improvements that Vega was supposed to have was improved geometry engine, right? So it was supposed to process more of the geometry and that kind of stuff. I think it's called like primes or something like that. I would have to go back to some of the articles I read in the past, but something like that. So for example, current GCN architecture allows for one geometry engine per clock, process like 4 or 5 of these primes, right? While they were planning to increase it to like 11 or something like that, right? So basically right now, with GCN architecture, the geometry engine is a big bottleneck. So I think, and right now I'm hearing that with Navi, they are working on actually improving that as well. So I think that's basically the secret sauce.
To confirm, Lord Madz, this sauce might be real. There might be some realness to this sauce.
Well, here's the thing. I believe this is a lot like when they talked of rapid pack math. It's just optimizations, and that's basically all it comes down to. I mean, consoles are highly optimizable, and they do one thing: they're there to play games. And I think that's what it comes down to. And I think it's much like that rapid pack math talk.
Okay, all right. Let's get our fellow tech Lord Bowden as well involved in this. We're hearing a lot of things. We're hearing embedded SSD. We're hearing hardware ray tracing. We're hearing also up to 13 teraflop GPU. So, Lord Bowden, like, what do you feel just about the source aspect? Like, where you hit what you're hearing, what you feeling?
Yeah, honestly, I think Madz there kind of nailed it. Is that really the core architecture of these next gen consoles is probably going to be pretty similar. And to his point, when you're saying secret sauce, all it is the fine tuning, really the aspect of it. It's secret sauce is a weird way to put it. But she's the CEO of AMD, so I'll let her be. But yeah, as Fonz just said, it's all about optimization and how can it run the games. And I'm at a place when I heard her say that, because the rumors have been for a while now that Microsoft's going to bring Anaconda and it's going to be stronger than PS5. Most of us have heard that, and then they start talking about things like 8K and ray tracing, which just was a weird thing to again talk about on day one. But what I find really interesting, and I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this, is a lot of this technology that we're talking about, especially on hardware ray tracing versus software ray tracing, and Navi, and 7 NM chip size, and those types of things that are being discussed in this next gen. Not only are they price heavy, but some of these things, like the on hardware ray tracing from a console perspective, would not only be first time things, right? But the timeline to get those in production and mass produced for a worldwide delivery by end of next year or late next year is they've got to be cutting it close. I don't think those things are in production today. Right. Someone can correct me.
Been reading my tweets.
We are very much in agreement on that.
Somebody's been in.
Yeah, so I mean, there's things that have been circulating from a kind of written hardware perspective, and what we're going to see with Lockhart versus Anaconda, right, and Microsoft's approach. But there's some really interesting stuff on there. But it really, as you were talking about, it's all about compute. It's all about data bandwidth. Yes. And I think they're both going to be heavily optimized. We've gotten to a place with the PS4 and original Xbox, right? There was the pissing contest with Sony over the Xbox, and then the X came out and threw down the hammer, right? Mm-hmm. And now we're at a place where they're both in this arms race, which is great for us. We benefit, right?
Absolutely.
But it's going to be really interesting. But I think Madz made some really good points there.
Just before I give it to you, King, I just want to ask Madz and Yulo about it in reference to a big point of contention seems to be hardware ray tracing, right? And I know you made some points about it in reference to, the time for delivery and obviously them maybe cutting it close. And then, I'm hearing conflicted things. Some people are saying there's no way possible. It has to be kind of like on a software level. So like a lesser version of it, kind of like what's being implemented now, like today's video cards, like the older cards, they can in theory do ray tracing, but not to the level of a more advanced hardware. So what do you guys think in reference to the ray tracing aspect? Like what aspect you think it might possibly be? Anybody can ask that. Madz.
Well, okay, the hell with it. It's all right. Let's keep it 100. All right. For you to get a hardware enabled GPU at this point in time, you're talking about upwards of $800, right? That's just for the GPU. So you Sony fans right now, they got this veil of slow. I gotta word myself properly because I'm on a podcast that is family friendly. All right. So you guys that have this veil of secret sauce over your eyes, this is what's happening, right? You're confusing what they want to do, what they can do, and what they will do. All right. These are the things that you're confusing. First, what they want to do, they would love to give you hardware ray tracing. They would love to be able to click a button and it's already working. That's not going to happen. All right, let's take that off the docket. That's done. All right. Now let's go down to this so-called secret sauce, which is software ray tracing. Now, a lot of times you got your engineers and your programmers, they're sitting there and they're working together hand in hand, joint to joint, and they come up with a method that is different from what other people are using to get the same effects that hardware will bring to you, right? And
kind of aspect is what you're going with.
Yeah. So once they have that and they're able to display it and you're able to trick the consumer into believing that it's on a hardware level, but you're doing it through software, then they hand this out to all their studios. This is your secret sauce. This is your ray tracing that is done through software. This is what you're going to get because it's cost effective and it's giving you the close to the same effect that you're going to get instead of adding extra cost to the system.
Okay.
All right. Now, somebody said something about audio ray tracing. I do believe, because I was attacked this week in my tweets, I do believe that you had it wrong. Now, he said it would be ray tracing like in audio. Listen, Sony does not support Dolby Atmos, but they needed to come up with their own audio solution. All right. Okay. So now that if you ever have Dolby Atmos, which is available on the Xbox One X console and the regular Xbox right now as we speak, you put it on, you can hear sound above, below, and on the sides, right? So when he said that, he actually said absolutely nothing, all right? So now that you got your audio ray tracing, which will be on a silicon level in the system, that's what you're going to have. An audio chip that is nice and dedicated that's in there. That every system comes with an audio chip.
Christopher Hart in the bushes. He said King doesn't want to admit that PS5 is going to have all those features. He said, he said, yeah, you don't want that.
Okay. The thing is if the PS5 was to have those features, count on the Anaconda having the features as well. I mean, it's I really don't see anything that the PS5 is going to have that the Anaconda won't, especially with all the stuff I'm hearing about, because I mean, in this community, we hear things, right? And behind the scenes, I'm being told certain things. I'm not going to repeat it, but Anaconda should be substantially more powerful than the PS5. And if that's to be true, then if there's any type of ray tracing cooked into whatever the PS5 with their chipsets or whatever, that'll be there for the Anaconda.
All right, so
Yeah, and the one point I wanted to make too is Lisa Sue's talking about Sony because they just did their kind of partial unveil, right? And Microsoft's been quiet. But you got to think about from an AMD business perspective, Phil Spencer and Microsoft, they're not going to play around with AMD. They have the muscle, right? From a business perspective. And there's already been talk for a couple of years now that Phil Spencer, the Xbox engineers, and Microsoft on a bigger scale, right, are working with AMD at this level. So Fonz is exactly right. And that's why I think, and we saw what Clobriel leaked a partial document last week.
Yes.
Which
talked about it, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Microsoft is being very clear that they're going to run 2 consoles and that Anaconda is going to be the performance leader de facto. It just, I mean, they've said it.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up because you literally transitioned into the second part, which is obviously.
Can I add? Can I add something to that?
Please, let's go.
Yeah, sorry.
Madz, let's go.
2 things really. Let's put ray tracing in the back burner. First of all, about the partnership, AMD's partnership with Sony. Now, we already seen Microsoft, actually Phil Spencer, at AMD stage during, was it the CES 2019, I think? And they were talking about great partnership and stuff.
Yes.
So it's not like Microsoft is not there and they're not working with AMD and stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Another thing is that, not sure if you've heard, but Phil Spencer, I think that was like 2 or 3 months ago, he basically said that whatever they're going to be doing with Anaconda or Lockhart, because obviously he couldn't go into too much into the details. Right. He said that the very same chips that you will find in Anaconda and probably Lockhart are going to be the same chips that are going to be used in future xCloud, right? So we're talking about these blades. Right. Now, that's interesting. But what's even more interesting is he said that they're going to have hundreds or thousands of these blades, right? And some blades going to be used for gaming. And he said that some of these blades going to be used for professional workloads. So my point is that the sheer amount of chips that AMD will be, that Microsoft will be ordering from AMD, even if you think that, let's assume that next Xbox is going to sell in only 30 million units. Right. They're going to have even more of these chips ordered from AMD for the xCloud, but not only for gaming and the whole xCloud thing, but also for professional use. So whether that's AI and stuff. Right. So which also brings me, we're probably going to continue later on, that is that Microsoft may go with a bit different path with engineering these chips, because these chips going to be for both.
Is that what you're going with?
Sorry?
A different secret sauce from Microsoft?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, kind of. Yeah. If you think about it, so they may have a bit differently engineered, chips, because these chips will have to actually be good for both gaming and professional workloads.
Oh, okay. Let me actually want to comment on something that chat said real quick. I don't want to shout out to Lord Face 23 BKNY. He said they're coming for some of our guys. They said people keep saying Anaconda will be more powerful. There is no proof of that right now. Just rumors from insider. Lord Bowden, I know you've been attacked on Twitter for a lot of your reporting.
So they keep saying there's no proof, but Microsoft has said it. They've come. I mean, Phil Spencer has said it. He said it last year, and that's why I keep getting confused. But they also, I'm trying to be careful what I say here. The internal. I'll say this: the internal document from the Xbox team that highlights the Xbox Scarlet strategy, which is Lockhart and Anaconda, says absolutely clearly that Anaconda is the performance leader and will be the best place to play games on the next generation. That's what the internal Microsoft document says.
Let me play devil's advocate for the fans. For the fans who may disagree. Now, what do you say to those who say, well, okay, that is the case, and that they're saying that, but what if they're saying that's more in competition in reference to the Lockhart? And like, would you say that how would you say that Microsoft would know what Sony's doing, so to speak, that they would know that? Would it through the AMD relationship?
I mean, again, so, and Madz kind of touched on it, right? You're talking about the world powerhouse in Microsoft, right? I mean, they just are. They're the world's powerhouse in the computing space. So to think that at least someone in Microsoft doesn't know what Sony's doing with the PS5, you're fooling yourself. Woo! They know what they're doing. And then, just to be clear on the document I'm referring to, it clearly says industry performance leader. They're not referencing Lockhart, because Lockhart and Anaconda on this document are separated as two different things, right?
Gotcha.
And all of the internal, or excuse me, not internal, all of the kind of documentation on specs that we've seen, right, is that Lockhart, again, to Matt's point, Lockhart and Anaconda are going to be very similar from a structure perspective. It's just a difference in some minor chipsets and data bandwidth goals. So,
absolutely,
that's what I would say. And I just think, you're right. I've been attacked pretty heavily with the comments. So all I'll say at this point is give it time.
No doubt.
Yeah, anybody who's said anything like that has been attacked either on Twitter or YouTube comment section. It's crazy. But yeah, like you said, you hear a lot of things, and you just side-eye people who are questioning this at this point, because Microsoft has vowed not to have a console that's inferior, and they are holding true to that. That aside, though, look, it's all about the games at the end of the day, and the PS5 is a day one for me just because of those games. We know what they're coming with, and I can't wait. As a console guy, that's what I buy the PlayStation for, is those exclusives, those Naughty Dog games, and everything they got going for it. God of War, Santa Monica has done a fabulous job with that series. And now you look over to the Anaconda and you're like, well, if they have that power, like right now you got the X, the most powerful console. I own the X because, well, I want to play. As a console guy, I want to play, the multiplats on the best representation I can outside of the PC space. Because every time I say that, PC guys get mad. Well, buy a PC then. No, I'm a console guy. So the X is where I play that. The Anaconda will be where
owns this power.
So power does matter to a lot of gamers like myself. It does. At the end of the day, bottom line, it does.
Fair enough, man.
Let me just make one comment, is that, the funniest thing about me being tagged, right? My comment was specifically says that the PS5, based on what we heard from Mark Cerny, is going to be beyond what I expected. So that's a good thing. And that next year is going to be amazing for both platforms.
Yes.
And it got turned into something like, like I was saying, PS5 is going to be terrible. That's not the case. I think PS5 is going to be great. I'll buy it on day one, like I do every console that releases. And, I wasn't trying to start a debate, but I mean, facts are facts. One of them is going to be more powerful.
Absolutely, man. Appreciating that. You standing on that. Shout out to the Super Chat. Death Singer again with the $5 Super Chat. This narrative about Navi being exclusive, stop it. Big Phil walks in and gives AMD the check. AMD says, yes, sir. That's flex to get the best. That Singer is out of control right now. So
well, it is all about the money bag, though, at the end of the day. I mean, to these companies, it's about the money bag.
Let me get to the point. All right. Okay. First of all, AMD is the only winners in all this war.
Yes.
Right? So they bet on both sides. Okay, I told you guys yesterday.
Hey, sorry, don't forget about Stadia. They will be powering Stadia as well, so they are really the biggest winner.
Yeah,
you get that Fugel mess out of here.
Okay, so we're not even going to talk about the Stadia crap.
We all know that you're going to be playing these Stadia games.
Let's not even get into that. But let's talk about AMD here for a second, right? And I want you guys to understand, she's not going to go up on that stage and say, yeah, PlayStation is going to be weaker. No, what she needs to say is they have a little secret sauce. All right. That's not giving you anything. All right. That's just giving you a little innuendo, like, don't worry. All right. Trying to reassure the crowd. They have 100 million active PlayStation owners. Okay. They want that to translate into 100 million PlayStation 5 owners.
And
All
it
right.
will.
Now, I don't know how many million Xbox owners there are, but they want that to translate into 50 million Xbox owners. All right. The only people they really don't care about and they want them to die out is Nintendo because they use NVIDIA. All right. So now that you understand, AMD has a horse in all these races. No matter who wins or loses, they win. All right. No matter what, they're their big bank. They own both. So don't think she's going to go out there and talk bad about one and big up the next one. She's not. All right. It's going to get to the point where you're going to start understanding and hearing. We're training your ears to hear buzzwords and catchphrases to distract you.
Now, racing 8K.
All that stuff is nice. It's fine. All right. Don't chase that demon, that dragon. Don't chase that. What you have to look is, I'm gonna tell you now. Normally, the most powerful system isn't the best system.
That's true.
All right. And in the whole era of video games, it always boils down to software and implementation of that software to get to that hardware. All right. So you can have two underpowered chips inside a 16-bit console that are two 8-bit chips that give you great games, turbo graphics. You have to understand how they're going to use this power. I'm not telling you that PlayStation will lose a battle because they are weaker. All right. They will continue to be exactly where they are because of their software will continue to carry them. Microsoft is trying to get to the point where they can rely on their software and they have the horsepower to keep that narrative going. That's all.
Let's play the quick shout out to JD Gamer with the $10 super chat. If you remember early last year, Microsoft spent $3 billion and Sony spent less than $1 billion. Why? I'm suggesting that Scarlet is not Navi, but is the next generation graphics core and why Microsoft is so confident about the power. Lord Madz, any insight on that before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, there's some rumors, but obviously nothing really. I mean, nothing is official. Obviously, still rumors, but there is this rumor basically talking about the fact that Microsoft may use the next gen GPU from AMD. Now, the problem with this rumor is the fact that, I mean, Navi is not out yet, right? And we are right. So, I mean, unless they are developing both of these architectures at the same time, well, maybe, but that doesn't sound like very likely unless we're talking about some form of a custom chip that would use, for example, Vega and Navi, so basically existing architecture, and basically borrow some new features from this next generation, AMD architecture. But as I said, these are still rumors, so
Yeah, absolutely, man. Oh wow! Shout out to Dizzy. He's Dizzy with the $5 super chat. Don't let King's banter let you forget the fact that he's going to eventually solve some knees on the bend the knee segment. He won't let this go, King. I don't know.
I love the fact that he's actively been trolling me, and I do appreciate it. But remember, I am Thanos of this, and these are people knees, right? So yeah, you may think that you're going to be throwing your disc inside that PlayStation. You're going to be backwardly compatible. You're going to put your disc in and it's going to say $4.95, sir. And you, my friend, is going to be mailing your knees. I want them FedEx with ice. I want them to be on ice so you can send your knees as well.
Savagery. Savagery. Shout out to little Megatron in chat. We see you, brother. Let us move on. We got a lot of topics to get into. So next topic, I'm going to jump this off. The Epic Store. Back in the news again with another big acquisition as Psyonix, the creator of Rocket League, joins the Epic Store family. They came out with a statement. And AMD, and once again, the PC community is not happy with this announcement, especially when reading the fine print. So it looks like Epic Gamer, they had to jump in front of it. Epic Games had to jump in front of it. They said basically there's no announced plans to stop selling Rocket League on Steam. Rocket League remains available for new purchases on Steam, and long-term plans will be announced in the future. However, this has got a lot in the community to be upset because the thought process is that eventually, at some point, that it will maybe potentially stop being sold. So what they're saying is they're still going to support the game if you have it on Steam, and that, you know, the nature of their relationship. I believe the other fine print is they said they wanted they said Psyonix said we want to clarify that after today's news, Rocket League remains available on Steam, and anyone who owns Rocket League through Steam can still play it and look forward to continued support. But again, point of contention after this deal is finalized that it may not be available for purchase. So I want to bring this to the Lords. Let's start with Lord. Actually, let's start with Lord Fonz. I'm very curious with Lord Fonz. What do you think about this whole Epic Store thing? And you know, where are you at with this particular acquisition?
Yeah, it's good you came to me, because I'm going to have to go here in a few minutes.
I know.
Start my cast. Anyway, I just want to say that this whole Epic versus Steam thing. Now, look, I haven't really PC gamed in years. It's been some time, and back then, and this was even before Steam. Okay, so it's a long time ago. I was still buying those CDs and putting them in the machine. So anyway, you know, I just think that the whole thing, the way I look at it is, Epic is trying to make moves to get people over to their app or whatever it is their launcher. And it's working, because if you look at the sales of these games that are coming out, people are buying them. So all these people on Twitter and everything getting all upset over this stuff, they're buying them. But on the flip side, I could see the problems. I could see the issues that they have with the launcher. The Epic launcher doesn't have a lot of features that Steam does.
Right. And
they really want them to have that. This whole nonsense about the Chinese are spying on them and stuff, that was all debunked. All right. That was debunked. And so they don't have that to go on anymore. But yeah, they don't have achievements. They don't have forums. They don't have a review system. And that's all things you'd like to see in these games. And, you know, Steam has that. And that's some of their biggest gripes. But at the end of the day, people are buying the games there, and this is a way for a company to come in and try to scoop those players up by saying, hey, we're going to take this developer and that developer and have these games exclusive, maybe for a short time, maybe forever, but you're going to come here to play those games. And that's what people are doing at the end of the day. So I think that's basically it, man.
Oh, great point, Fon. Thank you for joining. I know you got to go soon, but thank you for that.
Yeah.
Get into it. Oh, before I get into Lord Bowden, shout out to our boy Lord Lemon 108 Dragons TV with the $5 super chat. AMD has come out and said Sony and Microsoft will have their own secret sources, and tell Madz this is Lemon James, friends of the realm. So Madz, Lemon wants to say what's up to you, bro.
Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. There, somebody at Epic was interviewed or something, and somebody was telling me, I didn't read the interview, so I don't know. I could be having this wrong. He could have told me this, and not been truthful. But apparently, they're not really looking to add those features either. And that is kind of not cool in a way. Like I understand some of these gripes that these Steam players have, but it is what it is. And I don't like to see one company dominate and monopolize a system. You know what I'm saying? So like, I like competition for Steam. I think Epic being there is a great thing, but they need to expand. They need to have those feature sets that, please these customers at the end of the day.
I definitely.
All right. And I need to be out with that.
Later, Fonz.
Picked up the call, answered the
Fonz.
Salute the Lord Madz, Fight Culture Plug your podcast, man. Where you going to be
on? Fight Culture Podcast will be on. So after this show, guys, come check us out live. If you missed the live broadcast, you can catch it right here on YouTube, Fight Culture Podcast.
Absolutely.
And our RDX Tuesdays, 5 p.m. West Coast time, Dealer Gaming's channel.
Dealer Gaming, salute. Cole Eastwood, salute. D-Batch, the whole crew, Zarka, Tim Dog, the new acquisition. Salute you guys.
Nice.
And this show, Fonz, thank you for picking up the call.
Thank you,
brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Bro.
Always. Family.
You already know. Salute, bro. And Lord Bowden, let's get you in on this whole Epic store. It's a lot of tension in the internet and the Twitterverse right now.
Oh, a lot of nonsense.
Yeah, where are you at with this, man? Where are you at with this?
This is, I don't know. I think Fonz kind of nailed it, right? I don't like any monopolization, and Steam has been a monopoly on PC gaming for a long time now. Now, to be fair, right, they offer great deals. They've expanded Steam tremendously since the first launch, right? It's got a lot of functionality like he was just talking about. But they need to be checked. And this is Epic coming out with that Fortnite billions, right? And basically just flexing and saying, here's our money. We've got endless amounts of it right now.
That's good.
And, we're going to check Steam. And so they gave that developer cut, a much bigger cut. Developers, obviously, we know where they're going to go, right? It's money.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's business. That's all it is at the end of the day. And when you've got publishers looking at their bottom line and looking at their board sitting around the table saying, what are our stocks doing? And you can't make that decision to give away 15% of your game's profit. You just can't.
Yeah. Really?
I mean, I've been in some of those conversations. You can't do that. They're going to say, wait, there's another option where we get 15% more revenue from the same game. That's where you're going. You don't have a decision here. That's where you're going.
Talk about it.
So I mean, that's what's happening. And I, whether Epic's going about it the right way or not, you can debate, but the fact that they're doing it and they're challenging Steam, I think is a good thing, honestly. It's finally someone to go to Steam and say, hey, you're not the only dog in town.
That's the big dog. Exactly.
Yeah.
Question before you move on, I'm going to give the King's ready. He's bubbling. But I want to ask you one thing. What about the comment that Tim Sweeney said recently in reference to, a lot of backlash and what Epic Store is doing as far as the exclusive? He is saying that if he said, I quote, he said, if Steam committed to a permanent 80% revenue share for all developers and publishers without major strings attached, Epic would hastily organize a retreat from exclusives while honoring their partner agreements and consider putting their own games on Steam. How do you feel about that statement, Lord Bowden? Do you hold him to that? Do you think he's playing games with that, or is he real with that? Where you at with that?
Can you let's imagine for a second you're a player, a key player, one of 5 or whatever, right, in this battle, and you have the balls to come out and make a statement like that. You know what I mean? I mean, he basically just went to Gabe and all of everybody at Valve and said, hey,
what's good?
Here it is.
Let's go.
Here it is. And he's basically calling their bluff, right? Yep. I mean, that's what he's doing. He's basically saying, I know you guys don't want to do this, so I'm going to say, if you do it, things will be this way. But I know you're not going to do it. So, I don't know. I think it's funny to watch unfold. I couldn't imagine having that type of, money and funding and responsibility and everything, and just come out and make statements like that.
I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's crazy to me. I think it's fun to watch unfold. You know what I mean? Because I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm kind of with Fonz. I PC game for a while. I used to build PCs and get really into it. And nowadays, man, I'm so busy and I'm older, and I just like turning on my console and playing. It's just a lot easier. Nothing against PC gaming. That's just for me. So I don't have a dog in this fight. I really don't. But I just find it interesting to watch unfold.
Absolutely. Let's get Lord King. He's bubbling right now. I brought a war chest of money. I see you.
I said, hey, look at you guys. Y'all upset right now. You mad. You big mad. Look at you, all upset and in your feelings. Welcome to our world.
Woo!
Now you getting a taste of what this console life is about. You sitting there, you don't like it. It don't taste good. We want our stuff all over. No, it's not all over. If you get down and lay down, you play here or you play nowhere. You don't like it. Hey, what you gonna do? You're gonna be in 2 stores now. Now you're gonna have 2 apps. You're gonna be in 2 places. What's the problem? Or are you upset because that the company said we're gonna save money over here, so we ain't gonna put it over there? Okay, then you're gonna have to get another library together on the other side. You want to play that game?
Right. Let's play etiquette. What about the people who say this is anti-consumer?
That's not with you. It's literally not about you. All right,
right.
Listen. You walk past how many restaurants you walk past every day and don't decide to put your money in there. Like you say, I'm not gonna patron those guys. I know I'm gonna go to this place. So you deciding on what you want to eat, where you want to eat it, right? It's the same place. It's the same thing. Nothing is given to you. You're not entitled to anything. So if you want to take your bucks to this place, take your bucks here. If you want to take your bucks here, take your bucks here. If you want to eat in both places, which I like to do, I like to go get French fries from Burger King, right? And walk into McDonald's with my Burger King French fries and pick up a sandwich and sit down and eat. And you can't tell me I can't do that because I'm doing it because I got my fries from them because y'all make garbage fries. I like these fries, and I'm gonna sit here and eat this fish sandwich because I don't like it over there. But I put money in both places, so you're both winning. So you're both gonna shut up and allow me to eat my meal.
Yo, this is crazy. Let me get a little Madz because I got a lot to say too. Madz, what do you feel about the whole Epic Store? What Epic Store is doing with the acquisition of a studio, man, Psyonix, and do you feel, Lord Madz, this is anti-consumer?
I mean, like, okay, so I'm a PC gamer as well, and I play on PC quite a bit, right? Apart from consoles. So, I mean, for me, it's just yet another game launcher, or should I say, store launcher, because I think I've got like 6 on my desktop, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, like for me personally, I don't really care whether I will start a game via Steam launcher, Origin launcher, Epic launcher, Battle.net launcher. Did I miss any other launchers? Actually, let me check my desktop.
Origin.
You play, I mean, like there's so many. Now, obviously, if the rumors of like spying by China and stuff, if that was to be like true and stuff, I would say that that's dangerous and stuff, right? But other than that, I don't really have a problem with the Epic. Now, obviously, I get that people may be like, okay, so Epic is there, but there's no feature, there's no party chat or whatever, right? But I think that they kind of released a roadmap of all these features, and I think that like within the next 6 or so months, the Epic Store is going to be way better. Because hey, I did use Epic Store, and it's crap. Honestly, you cannot even sort the games, right?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Right. When Switch decides to give you no party chat, none of that stuff, right? And Switch decides they're not going to care about what you're talking about, right? I'm going to give you a company because, a lot of people is going to act like this is unprecedented. Like they need to give me this. Nintendo has actually showed you they don't need to give you a damn thing. They're going to put this out and they're going to give you online. Remember they said they're going to announce their online and you said party chat and stuff better be in there. And what happened? well, went down and people, I think they got 10 million active subscribers to their online. Listen, these companies don't care what you're talking about. All right. They already see people buying the launcher. They know you're going to go where the games is at. So if you're playing in the corner with a headset on and you're mute and you can't talk to your friends, they don't care about you and your buddies. All right. So as long as you keep giving them money, you keep buying from them. The only way they stop what they're doing is stop putting money. You're sending an angry tweet, but at the same time, you're clicking purchase at the same time.
Stealing my point, K. I'm about to go in. But going. Shout out to Lord. Oh, who's in there? Oh yeah, my boy, Dan Rodriguez. He says no tank top.
Oh man, yeah. Let's skip over that. We'll skip over.
Lord of Season Gaming. Salute. You know what I'm saying?
So let me give it background here, so we're clear.
Let's go.
We had a couple bitcasts, right? So this tattoo was done in honor of my son, and I had just got it done. And if you've had tattoos, it's a damn mess after you get it, right?
Yeah.
And so I couldn't at home wear a shirt because it was a mess. So I wore a tank top on like 2 shows.
Flexes.
These guys have not let me forget. Every time they're like, "Where's the tank top?
Where's the tank top at? Let's go. Guns out. That's what it is." Shout out to JD Game. All right, he says Madz and Iron Park. He said Epic realized you can't sell what you don't have, and forcing Steam to change or be left behind, a la Blockbuster versus Netflix. And then the Surge had some interesting comments. He said Epic Store service is, can't use the word profanity. That's the issue. So unless they get their profanity together, all their efforts, the strong arm will be in vain. Let me get at this, man. I got to talk about this. This is a good one, man. Listen. I got to shout out to the pettiness of Lord Sweeney here. Despite being the most despised man, by the PC Master Race, he continues to put the boot on the neck, man. I mean, all jokes aside, just like, Lord Bowden, and Lord, I've been only gaming on PC since last year on a high-end rank. I love it, but I will always be a console gamer at heart first. Now, I got to admit, I'm with King. I found all this outrage to be very hilarious to me. Like I'm saying, like, don't hear me on. It's like King. We from that era when like I had the Sega Genesis, right? And you own, and then King. I'll never forget that day. He had the Japanese import version of the Super NES. And F-Zero and Mode 7 for the first time. And I was like, yo, I gotta have this. I don't care if it's I'm a Sega kid, right? I don't care what platform. I was like, I have to get the opposing platform because my mind is blown. Like, this is amazing. So it got NES the next day as soon as it came out. So
yo, he's not telling you the whole story. I set his behind up, right? Because all right, you gotta understand from my perspective, I had the Sega and I'm like, oh, this is great. Yeah. So they told me at Canal that I can pick up the Super Famicom when it dropped. Right, so I went down. I think I spent like $400 or $500. I don't care. Give me all these games. Give me ActRaiser. Give me everything. Let's go. Out of there. Got to the house, man. And I'm laying in my bed, and I put it on. I said, "Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Their sound chip is crazy. Their graphics is crazy." So I called him immediately. It had to be like 7 a.m. in the morning. Immediately, because I got it at 5 a.m. Right? I called him at 7 a.m. So I called him, and he had our other cousin come through us. So they came over to the house. I've never seen tears of why I got to leave his house now.
Yeah,
like
it was so. I was like so. I said, I can't believe they're doing this. Oh my god, look at these graphics. Like I've never seen anything like that. So okay, basically, what I'm trying to say is, look, at the end of the day, you go where the games are. You go where the games are. That's just what it is. Now, I know this is not a one-to-one comparison. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, what Epic is doing, and I'm saying most likely, you know, Rocket League is going to be removed from Steam. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I get it. Y'all hate the features. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hate timed exclusive. And I give you that. Like the last minute nature is a little shady with some of these deals. I'm not gonna lie. But here's the problem. Like King said, like that loud vocal majority against Epic, you know what I'm saying, is not stopping them. Like they're seeing the success of titles like Metro Exodus, and so like 2.5 times more than Last Light did on Steam. They're seeing on the Epic Store, they're seeing that. So all that childish review bombing is not swayed where the majority of gamers are going to get their favorite games. Like, so hate it or love it, Epic knows this, man. They're going to continue. They got the data. They're going to continue that practice. So it's up to y'all to truly vote with your wallet, not review bomb, you know what I'm saying? And show that, yo, it's up to Steam now to kind of step up their game, right? And fight a little bit aggressively, you know what I'm saying, to combat that. Because ultimately, this is good, in my opinion, long term for gamers. Like Epic is over here. They like, what's that movie? Like, you got fat while we starved. Remember that?
Yeah, right. That's Wakanda forever. Hey. All right, when Killmonger walked in and said, look at all y'all laughing.
All comfortable.
Y'all all comfortable.
Man. It's their turn. They got that, like Lord Bowden said, they got that Fortnite money, they got that war chest. Right. And last point I want to make, shout out to Lord Derek Bradley, CEO of Aurora 44 Studios and creator of Ashen. We had him on ILP 97. Right. And he talked to us about the huge benefit of having Ashen on the Epic Store, as well as like the tremendous support they got and the financial backing. So in my mind, I can't say it's anti-consumer when the very devs that create the games we love are getting more of a revenue split, and they can better brace for any impact of a failed game, because we all know what a failed game, you know what I'm saying? Like your studio could go under. So that's just where I'm at with it. You know, I'll leave it to you guys to finish this point up, you know, as far as that. But it's very interesting to watch to me about it. I think this thing is very, very interesting. So
that's a great point about the dev, and shout out to them, man. Ashen was a great game. I actually played that for Backseat Gaming, funny enough. Yeah, I mean, right? If the devs, you got to go what the devs and publishers are saying. Sometimes those conflict, but if the devs telling you this was good for us, then it's good for us. There's a lot of studios out there that are one game away from bankruptcy.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, they're not trying to take that chance. As I said, man, it's business. These guys, it's a business. It's what it is.
They did business.
And on that note, we will move on. Lord Attic had to go, but we're going to shoot his topic off, and he had a good one, man. This is a good one. It's talking about games as a service, and what he wanted to kind of expound on was like, obviously we see Sea of Thieves, what's going on, and how they continue to evolve. But just in general, we've seen stories like with Anthem and stuff like that, what's going on with them, and kind of on the flip side. So just about games as a service in general, and if it's bad for the industry. So Lord Bowden, let's start with you. What's your take on games as a service? Do you think it's bad for the industry? Where do you reside on that?
Yeah, that's a big question. I don't know. I'm a little torn. I think it can be done well. It can be done poorly, just like most other things, right? You look at something like, so Division 2, I said I've been playing the hell out of. And I bought, I'm a big looter shooter. I think I said that at the start, right? So I have Anthem, I have Division 2, and I said before they both launched, hey, Division 2 is going to crush it. Just because they had that foundation from the first game, and you knew what Massive Entertainment was doing because they communicate well, right? We're not even going to talk about BioWare's communication. Jesus. But you kind of knew that. So if I look at something like Division 2 and you see the package that you get in that game at launch, that's where I think, and the roadmap, right? This year one roadmap, which is all free from Massive, that's where I think game as a service has hits its stride, hits its potential, right? Because you're giving players tens, if not hundreds of hours of gameplay from one game, and they can just continue to, invest in that world for a long time. And I think that's a great thing. But then you look at games like Anthem, you look at games like Fallout 76, you look at games like Destiny's original launch. There's a lot of examples where a lot of promises are made and that launch game is just not there. It's not even close to what they were talking about. So, and then you're invested Then you're invested $60 in a game that is not what was said to be. And then, this is just me speaking, but I thought Bungie had some fucking audacity to
language, sir.
Sorry. Had the audacity.
For the little Lord.
Yeah, sorry. It's
all good. It's all good.
To come out and then say, well, we highly improved this game, but to really play everything in the game, you got to buy this $40 expansion.
Yeah, you got to get that.
And then at that point, which wasn't even part of the season pass, which I had. You know what I mean? So you get those first two expansions, which were nothing, and then they come out and say, here's a $40 expansion that really makes the game good. And you're what? Like,
I could.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it comes down to the devs and publishers, as always, right? If you have a good dev and they're not managed by a poor publisher, which I think Anthem suffered from, because we saw, I forget his name now, but the CEO of EA, Wilson, right?
Yeah.
He came out last year and said Anthem will launch in our fiscal year.
Yeah.
And so what that says to stock, we're back to the stockholders because that's what it comes down to, is that, that game was going to launch by March, period.
Hell or high water.
Come hell or high water, good
exactly
or bad. You
doesn't matter.
Get this game.
And they could go to Wilson and say, hey, it doesn't matter. We told the stockholders this game's launching fiscal year.
Glad you said that.
So that's what happened, and we see where we are with Anthem. But then you get the flip side. I think Ubisoft has been probably the pinnacle over the past few years of games as a service. Man, we could talk forever, right? Rainbow Six Siege. Woo! You got even For Honor, which started off getting criticized a lot. That's still going strong. You've got Wildlands they're still supporting. Division 2 is a great example. They're killing it with continued support for existing franchises. So
I think it's down to planning. All right. When you don't really have a plan, you have to plan for the good and the bad. You don't always go in looking for the good. All right. You always got to plan for the bad because eventually the bad will crop up. Right. So you got to plan for bugs. You got to plan for downtime. You got to plan for server things. You have to plan for these things. So when they do happen, you have a strategy in place for you to make sure that the game is not down long, the bugs is wiped out really quickly, and you understand that these guys, once you have speed run guys that blow through games that don't look at your story. Normally your story will take, we got 40 hours of story. Okay, now let's look at it from the other perspective of the speed run guy. How long would it take for him to knock that game out? If he knocks it out in 3 hours, he's standing around doing nothing, complaining about your game. So you have to keep him engaged, right? So I always thought, and we're going to say games as a service, we're going to talk about an Anthem, we're going to talk about a failed game, we have to talk about the games that are successful, like it's Division 2, because the Division 1, everybody was trying to throw it in the bushes. I thought it was a good game. You have to understand they build on these things. Those roadmaps are very important, but you also have to be flexible when the wrong happens. The wrong happened to Anthem, and I hear it was terrible all the way through. I knew it didn't have a place to fit in. I knew the game wasn't going to sell how they wanted it to sell because they were pushing it to the boardroom, right? Games as a service is a great thing. It needs to be in something like a Game Pass. And I'm going to keep telling you this. The reason why, and a lot of people are saying, well, you know, King, you can't put mediocre games in a service and let it grow there. No, what you're doing is you're cushioning the fall. Right, you're giving them airbags just in case something does go wrong. You don't jump in your car and say, "Oh, it's the safest car in the world. Forget the airbags." The hell no, right? You sat there and said, "Well, you know, let me make sure that I get the maximum amount of airbags in this car, safety ready, 100%." Right? You're not going there anticipating a crash, but just in case something goes wrong, you don't die. Right? So you want to make sure that that game is cushioned so it has a chance to grow. When games as a service is part of a service, I think that's the best thing. We're all taking a gamble when we go out to purchase games. You don't know that if the game is going to be fantastic or not on any game, even if it's not a game as a service game. You don't understand if it's going to be supported, if it's going to be a good game. You're going in with hopes and dreams.
Let me give you the flip, though, King. What about, just to play devil's advocate, because let's be honest, most of us here, I'm going to ask Madz in a minute, but most of us here are kind of like games of looter shooter kind of guys, right? But I want to flip it. Like, what do you say to the argument for people to say, you know what, I'm not feeling that a lot of these games are launching, like, let's use Fallout 76, for example. Broken or in an unfinished state where it's going to evolve. And like, let's be honest, as much as Sea of Thieves is having a resurgence right now, right? Sea of Thieves launch, there was a lot of people who are saying, hey, this is boring, there's nothing to do, you know, kind of thing. So what do you say to those people that sometimes the games services use as an excuse to launch very light content and then add it on later?
All right. Okay. So you see how Sea of Thieves launched regular and it launched in Game Pass.
Yes.
The people that weren't crying was the Game Pass dudes. The people that were crying was the guys that didn't have the cushion. All right. So when it launches in Game Pass, it gets a chance to grow and turns into something different. Now, the fact that Anthem, and I hope Anthem does make it to Game Pass, the fact that Anthem is out there standing alone, twisting in the wind without any support, as far as you're seeing devs leaving, you're seeing people leaving, games launching broken is a new trend. It's new. All right. Before we get a cartridge and it's complete, the game is complete. You got it. There was no add-on. There was no internet for you to download some DLC or something to save your game from being crap. If it was crap as it launched, they understood that it was going to be crap forever. All right. So now you got a system that they put in place that we agreed upon because we keep purchasing these broken games. We are complicit in this. I want you to say it because a lot of you guys are out here running around screaming, those games come out broken. But if it's your favorite game, your favorite franchise, you are purchasing the game hoping for DLC to fix it. Stop doing that and complaining about what happens next. That's the problem.
Fair enough. We're gonna get Lord Madz in on this. 86 watching. Please hit that like. Please hit that subscribe. We're really trying to give you guys quality content as much as we can. Lord Madz, I'm very curious. I don't take you as a looter shooter kind of guy.
No, and you're right. I mean, I don't really play a lot of the service, kind of games, but I'm more of a single player kind of gamer, right? And I like, some multiplayer games once for a while, but like, quick 30 and maybe up to an hour multiplayer session and I'm out. All right. But like, I think it all comes down to the, quality of the content, because like with a single player game, I guess that it's actually sometimes it's actually more difficult to fix something, right, with single player game. While with games as service, I mean, if you've got like a good plan for future, right? I mean, even if you obviously, which is not great, if you actually come up with a game that is broken or got some problems, you can fix it, right?
Right.
But my problem is that like Destiny is a great example. I mean, I don't really want to blame developers. I guess it's more about publishers. They just milking the gamers, right? Because like somebody said, like if you I think King said that if you release a broken game or basically a game without any content, and you hoping that basically gamers going to have to pay like an additional $60 to actually get some content and some fixes. I mean, that's not fair, really, right?
I feel you.
So I mean, that's my take on it. So I guess like at the end of the day, if you release a good game with a steady income of new content all the time, I mean you're probably up for success. If not, then a developer is going to struggle. Although, as I said, I mean, if they deliver like free content, new content, updates and stuff, and we've seen like Rainbow Siege, I think was one of them. I mean, it's still one of the mostly played games on all platforms, right? And and it struggled at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Slow Mo. He said, "Mods, are you saying Bungie's price gouging their community?" Shout out to Wild Bakes. He says, "What's up, Mods?" You know what I'm saying?
I'm actually interested to see what Bungie is going to come up with. After the split with Activision. So this is going to be a real test for Bungie, whether that was Activision telling them to milk gamers, or was it like, yeah, let's do it.
They put out content. They've been putting out content. If you follow the last word with LordCognito and Imantis, they go into the fact that there's a lot of content. I just logged into Destiny the other day and I saw a crap ton of content that was there that I'd never had before. Yes, a lot of it is switched around, kind of in the same vein, but they're trying to get their lane. They're trying to get their footing. They understand what's going on and how the Division 2 changed their fortunes, and they're trying to do the same thing with older software. All right, but the new software going forward, we're going to see the true test of Bungie and the new software going forward with Destiny 3, which is inevitable. It's coming.
To JD Game again. Oh, thank you, brother, with this $5 super chat. If Sea of Thieves was released today, how would each member of the panel rate it with its current content level? Good question. I think right now, from what I'm hearing, this content update is really strong. I'm hearing good things about it. I haven't got a chance to play it. I heard they actually have like some type of story.
I give it a 9.
Quest-based stuff, and then I forgot who I was listening to that also said that I forgot they have another mode. I don't know if it's like a arena mode or something like that.
Arena, yeah, it's a PvP mode.
Yes, and I've heard good things. I'm curious to go back to it. Lord Bowden, I'll let you played it or?
Not the update, no. So we're actually gonna be playing. Dan's played a ton of it, and we used to play. Man, that game is just hilarious. It's a really unique game. It's hard to compare it to anything else because it's just really unique. But man, when you play with like 3 other buddies and you're just messing around on the ship and sailing and fighting, it's hilarious. So yeah, I think with this new update giving you the PvP standalone option and the Tall Tales Shores of Gold is what the single player thing is, which is supposed to be like 10 to 15 hours with like puzzles. They call it kind of like a Goonies and Indiana Jones mix.
Okay.
Which those two hit us right away, right? Goonies and Indiana Jones. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. I think if it released with all these updates today, it would have been a much different conversation for sure.
Daniel B. King says, "Stop it." He said, 9, King. Stop it, King. Things are 9. He said, "You frauding, King."
You're gonna say that I'm frauding right now, right? His level of what he said was with all the content you got right now. Yeah. That's exactly what he said. So maybe for you, it's not a 9. But again, I'm gonna tell you right now, your opinion doesn't move me. So when I go to purchase, I don't say, I wonder if he will like this. I don't like it. You know what? To be honest with you, it never entered my head.
Oh,
so, and I hope I don't enter your head when you're going to purchase a game and be like, King gonna put that fraud alert if I purchase this game. Don't do that. All right. Don't purchase your games hoping to please me, because it's not gonna happen. But you see, I keep Sega Classics on right here because these are Sega boys in this room. So Sega Classics has been running on. So if you actually look over, you actually see a lot of good Sega games that you probably would not rate a 10, but I would.
Well, let me jump in, man. Yeah, I'm way low about it, man. This is tough for me because clearly I'm biased. I like looter shooters. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my brethren, Lordy Bontis. Last word on all looter shooters. We do every Friday that show. But listen, I'm addicted to these games, like the Destinies, the Divisions, even the Anthems, and soon Borderlands. So I can definitely see. This is what I'll say, because y'all know how I feel about Battle Royale, right? So it's like I can definitely see some mumble rap tendencies where people are like copying certain things to catch a wave. You know what I mean? I see certain companies, trying to get on that games as a service kind of trend. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, it's like, look, right now, some of them are launching very light on features. And I think with the selling point that it's going to evolve, it's going to get better. And I think, like King said, like, unless you're free to play or in a like games as a service like Game Pass, like, most gamers are not going to stick around until your game decides they wants to get better. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, the community, you got to get the community what they want. So I think it's three things. This is me. It's the LordCognito 3 things that you need to do if you're a looter shooter that you got to kind of get involved with your game. The first is transparency. Like Lord Bowden said, I think you have to be transparent. You got to let the community know, what's going on with the updates, why these patches and why these decisions that you're doing are being made. No one needs to be guessing. I'm looking at you, Destiny. No one needs to be guessing what's going on in your game. 2, you got to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like, these games are tremendous time sinks. So, and the player base is going to eat it up like candy. So you got to have a strong live team. Live team got to be strong. That's willing. That's always going to be able to deliver that consistent playing content. And then the third thing, it's kind of similar to number 2, but it's roadmap, right? And you're seeing that kind of with Anthem. Like, even if it's just a bullet point, right? Hey, in November, this raid is coming, or this, month, we're going to launch this activity. Like, no one wants to play a perceived dead game with no hope on the horizon, right? So that, to me, is the key. Like, if you do that with your base, you're communicating, you're consistent, you have a roadmap, and you're being honest and transparent, then I think you can be fine. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. That's what I got on it. But we will move on. If anyone got anything else, last 2, we'll fly through these because we know we're running over a little bit over. Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Woo! The reveal. A lot of people hype about what's going on. And obviously, then also some statements from Lord Randy Pitchford versus Game Informer. We'll get into that. But let's talk about the game first, and then we'll talk about the second part. Lord Bowden, are you a Borderlands guy? And did you see the gameplay reveal? And then what do you think about Randy Pitchford's statement regarding
diehard Borderlands. In fact, my whole family, we play it together.
Wow.
My stepson, who's in the Marines out in Hawaii, diehard Borderlands guy, hundreds of hours. My son, my youngest son, who's still here, plays it. My wife even plays it with us. So nice. Diehard, man. I've got the collector. I got the loot chest right behind the camera, right there from Borderlands 2. But yeah, I've got 2 of the Diamond Loot Chest editions pre-ordered. I am all over it. So I love what I've seen. I've watched all the reveals. I've watched extra footage. I love it. It's kind of like they went into my head and said, okay, take Borderlands 2, keep all the good, make a lot of things 2019 ready, and here you go. And that's exactly what they've done.
Was you with us at PAX East? Was you there?
No, I didn't make it out. Okay, no, I've never been to a PAX. I've heard great things.
Oh, go! You got to go there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Slow-Mo. He said, "Did I hear someone mention the king of looter shooters?"
Borderlands 3 is coming for its title. I'll say that it's coming.
Absolutely, I feel you, man. So, what about the statements? What's going on with the microtransaction? Obviously, what Game Informer had reported, in reference to there would be cosmetic items of microtransactions, the evil word. And then Randy Pitchford had some things to say, right? Right, about this?
Did he? He had an 18 tweet barrage. Like, what the hell was he doing, man? You're a CEO of a company. Get the hell off of Twitter with your 18 tweet barrages. Doing? If I'm a worker at that company, I'm like, good God, shut up. You know, like I just. Anyway, I don't know. He's an awkward guy. You know what I mean? He just is. He's one of those guys that you kind of wonder why they put him. There's got to be someone who could present better than Randy at these shows. But yeah, I mean, you know, I guess we get the point he was trying to make. It's not nefarious loot content. It's not loot boxes. You're not having to spend all this money to get things that are going to help you get loot or level up or any. So, you know, we all understand that. Yeah. But regardless, if you're just going on pure definition, being able to buy cosmetic items is a microtransaction. It just is.
Letter to the law.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. He could have been clearer about it. We kind of see what he meant, but he needs to accept that buying cosmetics is still a microtransaction one way or another.
Fair enough. Lord Madz, are you a Borderlands fan? And also, what did you think about Randy Pitchford's statements versus Game Informer?
Yeah, I did play quite a lot of Borderlands. I'm actually replaying those games again on PC. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to Borderlands. Yeah. As for the Mr. Pitchfork statement, I mean, I haven't really seen all his tweets and stuff, but I think it was something to do with loot boxes and that kind of stuff. So did he just deny it first and then he said like, yeah, but there may be something, something like that. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I've seen something like that.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
he went in on Game Informer hard. He said that's not what they're doing, but
but I think he then said that but you will find something in the game and stuff, right? I mean, like I like when developers, publishers, and everything are really like clear and they are honest, right? And clearly there's something stinking going on over here. So, I mean, I would be surprised if there was nothing in the game in terms of like loot boxes and some microtransactions, that kind of stuff. I mean, because clearly a lot of these games actually do that right now and publishers and stuff. So, yeah, but I don't necessarily like when gamers are being misled, if you know what I mean, right? So,
no, absolutely. Yep. I heard you saying. Lord King, Borderlands reveal. We were there in the building when it was.
Oh man, nice. Beautiful. Jealous.
it was an exercise in dexterity and due diligence. I really respect the CEO. For doing his hard work. It was beautiful to see. It was beautiful. That's what happens. You can't plan for the wrong, but when the wrong happens, you have a plan. And I really respect him, and I'm purchasing the game off of that strength of what he did and how he feels for his team.
We did see something genuine there, right? Yeah, and that was good to see. And you could see, I think at one point he was like almost tearing up. Because they've probably been working on years for this. So that was good to see. I absolutely give you that. And the fact that, the excitement of the fans to watch, because, they had those frame hiccups when they first played it, which were driving his team crazy. And when they finally got it going, you could see how excited he was for the game and the fans, which was cool.
So what do you feel about this statement, him going at Game Informer about them reporting that there are cosmetics in the game and him kind of bombing them?
Well, you understand he's a very passionate person, so I don't really, that's like petting a porcupine and getting mad at the stick you. You can't really do that thing. You can't really expect something different. Be careful who you talk about. A lot of these people take this stuff seriously. This is a game that's highly anticipated, and they don't want no negativity attached to it before the game comes out. They want to reach a broader audience. They understand that before, when Borderlands came out, there wasn't no Destinies. There wasn't no Divisions. All right? There wasn't no Anthems. They don't want any negative stigma attached to this game at all. They want this game to be able to stand on its own. They want it to be able to fit in. All right. I want y'all to understand, Anthem really lost because it was not a place for it to fit in. All right. So they need Borderlands to be able to galvanize their community.
Right.
those people are going to purchase, and they need to reach critical mass where it reaches out to other people that don't play Borderlands, and they need that word of mouth to spread. Nowadays, a bad tweet will sink tens of thousands of purchases. So I feel him. I understand why he would say it. And being that, like I said before, if you was watching there, if you were there, you understand the level of individual that you're dealing with, and his team works so hard on this, and he's going to go to bat for his squad.
Yeah, I understand the sentiment. I mean, I jump into, about the game, like I said, I'm kind of late to Borderlands, but I did play 2. I really enjoyed it. This seems to be a tremendous improvement. Game looks great. I like the smart loot system because none of that loot ninja and stuff and people take your gear. Now they kind of got that part up to speed with like a Destiny and stuff. And to be honest, Lord Bowden, like I got into the game late, but you know what really connected me to Borderlands is actually Tales of the Borderlands. I played the Telltale game. Shout out to Dizzy. He knows what's going on. Shout out to Attic. We both play. That is the most hilarious Telltale game I ever played. It really put me in the world of Borderlands. And I found out that one of the characters, I believe his name is Reese.
Yeah.
He's going to be in 3. So I'm like, I'm a fan of that cat. Like I would laugh out. That game made me laugh out loud like 4 times. I love that game. So I'm feeling that world and all that. Now, as far as the statements, I'm in the middle. I'm kind of with Lord King and I'm kind of with Lord Bowden on certain things because it's like, it's a tough situation. Like I'm a huge fan of Game Informer. Like I've been rocking with them since like they were packing magazines with GameStop. Remember when you buy this? You know what I'm saying? Like that. I've always, and those guys, I got tremendous respect for. You know what I mean? Salute to those guys. And they did their reporting. You know what I mean? So as far as Randy, I don't know him personally. He seems like a cool guy. We saw him at PAX. Super passionate. Salute to him. But like King said, keeping his composure when all things were going wrong, doing that initial Borderlands reveal. I mean, I felt for the guy on stage. The guy was doing magic tricks. He was doing a whole bunch of stuff.
I honestly don't think I've seen anyone in that circumstance for that to happen. And that that place was packed for people coming to just see you in that game. Yeah. And for that to happen, and it didn't happen once. It didn't happen twice. It happened 3 times.
He had to keep his composure, and me and Ken talked about it at the show. Like, could you imagine, like, it's the big reveal and all these things keep going wrong? And I salute him on that aspect. But here's the thing: all being said, he was out of pocket coming at Game Informer. In my opinion, he was out of pocket coming at Game Informer. Because here's the thing: it's like I know what you're saying, King. Like. The evil, dirty little word of microtransactions. Once that gets out, right, negative connotation attached to the game. I get it. But it is what it is. If your game got it, you got it.
It's not out yet, and a lot of things can happen. As Sony is proof positive to the fact that up to an hour before the show, they went and switched everything around on that PlayStation 4, brother. So it was launching with DRM, and it was doing all that stuff that y'all did not want to hear. So up until that point, they can snatch it out.
Okay, here's the thing, though. And I know a lot of people don't like him, but I gotta salute Lord Jason Schreier with the epic clapback. Did you see the clapback?
No.
He put out a tweet. And he said, regarding the same type of statements Randy made about Battleborn. See, when Battleborn was launched, when it came out, and I believe Kotaku or one of those guys were kind of the first to report, like, hey, this is going to go free to play. And in typical fashion, Randy jumped out on Twitter, his Twitter fingers. No, this is not happening. You know what I'm saying? This is BS. Why would someone put a horrid story like that? And he's like, I was told about a reckless story about Battleborn being free to play. And then literally, a few weeks later, it goes free to play.
Because they don't like the leakage. Somebody leaking someplace and they need to cut the leak. Like, I feel it. Don't announce my wedding before I announce my wedding. Like, don't do that. And I get it. Somebody need to snatch his cell phone away from him. That's all, man.
He got caught again. So Schreier was ready when he saw what was going on with this Borderlands 3. He's like, "Oh, word, you okay?" Clap. He put it out, and it is what it is. He went for him. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Listen, I agree, Kid. I don't think he's an evil guy based on my impression of him, but he definitely probably speaks a little.
Yeah, I think King nailed it. He's really passionate.
Yeah,
he stands up for his squad.
Yeah.
And those are good things, right? But I said it before, he's an eccentric kind of guy.
Yeah.
And Game Informer, Andy kind of made the statement, which was factual. Of course, naturally, the way they wrote it, causing controversy, right?
Yeah.
But Randy came back, and I think that's where I struggled because of the type of guy he is. I don't mind you. You absolutely stick up for your team,
right?
Stick up for the development. You don't want that label, as you said. But the way he went about it, I think coming back, making a huge charade about it does more damage in the long run than just coming back, being matter of fact and say, look, there's nothing you can buy on day one. We're debating putting some cosmetics only. There'll never be any loot chests. There'll never be any pay for performance or pay for upgrade type things. Sorry if I was unclear, and leave it at that.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep it professional. Get out your feelings. I agree.
But Randy's not that type of guy. To King's point, he's a different type of guy.
Different type of dude, man. So that's all I got on that. King, let's just wrap up. We got your last joint.
Don't worry about it. We can drop that into the bushes. We can talk about it because it's an ongoing thing that you guys, we don't need to. It's not a rapid pack thing. It's not something that I just want to roll out and just roll it into the bushes. It's something we're gonna dig into and talk about.
All right, fair enough. So we'll get out of here with the poll. New ILP poll this week. With the recent announcement of the Epic Store acquiring Psyonix and the possibility of Rocket League being removed from Steam, new purchase only at a later date, in your opinion, is this move anti-consumer by Epic towards gamers? The choices are A, no, stop crying. Developers get more revenue and you still play Rocket League on both Steam and the Epic Store. B, yes, forcing temporary exclusives on an inferior platform last minute is shady. See, I don't care until Epic Store forces me to bend the knee on my favorite exclusive.
That's what I'm down for. I'm down for that right there.
That is the choices. Those are the questions. Please rock the ILP vote when it goes up on Twitter tomorrow. Lord Ainsley Bowden, absolute pleasure to have you in the room.
Pleasure's all mine, man. It's been a great time. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Fresh from the hockey game. Never asked you, did you guys win?
We lost 3-2 in the championship. Yeah, 1 goal. Which, we were joking about it before, right? If we would have scored at the end, it would have gone to overtime. I would have been even more late. So I don't know.
you mean to tell me you threw the game for us?
No.
He said, hey, don't attach that to me. I'm very passionate about my hockey. Don't attach that to me.
No, I'm competitive for that, but yeah.
Bro, absolute pleasure to have you in the room, man. Where can people find you? What do you have going on?
So always check out Season Gaming. I appreciate it. Porsche Power. I'm Porsche Power everywhere. And I have been forever. That's my live name, PSN, Twitter, kind of everywhere. So coming up, I'm getting into Xbox Fan Fest in a few weeks here. Woo! I am so excited. So excited.
I'm going to so enjoy that experience. Your first one?
FanFest, yes. I was at the Xbox conference last year, but I didn't get into FanFest last year. So me and Bert actually both going to that and be at the conference, obviously, and, being there at E3 for the whole week. So just
we got to link up, brother. We got to link
up. Absolutely. Yeah, I was telling, I don't know if you told King, but King, last year I was standing in line to get into the Xbox theater, and I saw you guys. You were in line, like just in front of me, but I didn't, we'd never spoken. I wasn't going to walk up and just be like, hey.
No. I actually encourage that. If you see me, talk to me. I actually love that stuff. But this year, we definitely had you on serve. You're definitely going to come out to the compound. We always, chop it up. We always go out for dinner and stuff like that. You are going to love FanFest. It is a real treat. For those people that get a chance to go to that treat, it is definitely whatever dessert that you ever love, that's exactly what it's going to be for you. And I want you to soak it up. I want you to make sure that you take a lot of pictures, remember the moments, to record everything, talk and greet everyone, because when you're there, you're absolutely amongst family. You're going to truly enjoy yourself, and it's going to be a high point of your trip. Trust me.
Absolutely, man. Dope. Lord Madz, our fellow resident gamer and Lord of lordsofgaming.net. How are you doing, sir? Where can people find you? What's going on, man?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me again. So I'm always, up for some tech talk and stuff and games as well, because at the end of the day, it's all about content and power doesn't matter,
Tell them about it.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks a lot for having me. Great panel, great guests. Great talks as always. Gaming and stuff. And you can find me on YouTube, obviously MadzGaming, and Twitter, MadzGaming PL. So yeah, brilliant. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in, Lord Madz, again, last minute, holding us down. Tremendous articles, man. Love the tech focus. Really appreciate what you do for us.
Yeah, more are coming, because I had some, family situation. I was traveling recently a little bit as well. We had like a long weekend here in Poland as well, so I haven't had too much time. But yeah, more is coming soon.
Much appreciated, sir. We always look out for those articles, man. Great content. So, yeah, man. And I also want to shout out Lord Fonz, who came through. Like I said, he's doing Fight Culture Podcast. Please check him out for your MMA combat talk fix with Lord Madz. You already know those are family to the realm. And of course, Lord Sav. And Lord Addy actually had to go. He had to start to work. And Lord Sav, we will see you next Sunday. Hopefully, brother. Hope everything is okay with you in the realm. Lord King, where can the fine people find you? What's going on, sir?
Oh, here it is. So on Wednesdays, you definitely can catch me at KOS King of Statues. Now, what you see right there spinning in the background is Thor Break of Brimstone. If you want more information on that statue, you want a little bit background into it. If you saw Avengers Endgame, you want to understand the dual welding of the hammers, and you want to see Milner right over there and Stormbreaker right next to him. Those are broken down. Those are prop replicas. Those are not toys. They will definitely bash your head in. They're very serious. They're very heavy. So you tune into KOS. It's up on the YouTube channel. It's also at lordsofgaming.net. Also, your boy is in his bag. All right, so this is a movie Studio 16. I know it's not the top notch. You guys better leave me alone. But I'm flexing my little video muscles, and I'm trying to bring you better content. So when you get Combat Talk with the King, or you get KOS, that's up. And we're also still working on Arcade King and how to get that format and stuff to you.
Should we move our camera, sir? Are we allowed to legally show?
Oh no, you can see that stuff right there. That's not me actually playing, and you don't even know if that's green screen or whatever the hell it is. I can actually plausibly deny everything that you see here. So trust me, I will do so in a court of law if my feet is held to the fire.
Call up Lord Hope, man. You might need Lord Hope law for this one.
But listen, man, I want you guys to continue to cultivate your passion. As you can see, Lord Ainsley's there with his statues and his wall. He meticulously put that wall together. It's a beautiful wall. I love his whole setup. I want you guys to never lose that passion, never lose that glow. These statues and these toys are here. These are things that keep you grounded in your youth. Don't ever forget that joy and passion that you have. We was talking about depression earlier. I want you to stay in your safe and happy zone. And remember that time you first opened up your console or you first opened up your toy. Get back to those moments that bring you joy. Because a lot of times you're out here working and you're in the grind, and you're in that grind, and you stay in that grind, and it will wear you down. That's why it's called the grind. You got to get back to your base, get to good things, enjoy your life. Make sure you take time out and smell the roses. So.
Well said, man, and it's definitely a reflection of Lord Ainsley Bowden's article, the good in gaming, right? That's what it's about at the end of the day. Yeah, man, LordCognito here. You already know where you can find us. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, notification, gang, all that good stuff. Lord Kaibatsu will have the audio up on all your favorite platforms, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. Chat, thank you, man. You guys were absolutely spectacular. Links will be in the description. Next 3 weeks, man, I believe. Coming soon, we got the prediction series. It's a favorite of us, so we'll get you the date. You know what I'm saying on that. We'll let you know, but we're gonna have some heavy hitter panels just like today. You know what I'm saying? And we're looking to really talk about what's going on with these press conferences. We will get you the information as soon as we possibly can. Also, please, for your gaming news, please check out lordsofgaming.net. Obviously, you see Lord Madz on here. He's been putting out good content. And also, people, if they're interested, if you're just looking to get in the game as far as writing news or any of that kind of stuff, please reach out to myself, reach out to Lord Dizzy, in the chat, or also the Lord's Gaming Net Twitter handle, because obviously we're definitely still looking for aspiring scribes in the realm. Shout out to the stream team. You already know who you are. Sonaldo, El Boogie, MJ's the boss, old school style. Lord Delapo should be coming back soon. And like you said, King KOS is up. Tremendous statues, please. King is putting tremendous content. And another thing, King, got to give you credit. You're giving backstory on comic book versions of the character, the true origin, versus the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I think that is really cool to educate people on the differences. You know what I'm saying? Even educate me on, with my fraudulence on certain things.
I wasn't going to put the fraud alert on you. I was going to leave that alone.
Myself a fraud line. He schooled me on one aspect. You know, even though I have my issues with Endgame, he did school me on certain things about things being true to comic, even though it wasn't Infinity Gauntlet, but we ain't going to go there. But nah, real talk though, he's killing it out there. And again, if you're a Looter Shooter fan, please follow The Last Word with myself and Ebontis every Friday. Your Destiny, your Division, your Anthem, what's going on in all these Looter Shooters. That is our passion. That is what we do. Everybody enjoy your Sunday. And on that note, peace.